Global Gardener at the Atlanta Botanic Garden. Here we are checking out the indigo. Apparently grows in Atlanta. This is Indigofera kirillowii. Indigo from Eastern Asia in the Fabaceae. So that's another good leguminous plant to stimulate nitrogen in the soil, a nitrobacter. We also have the Evergreen Solomon seal I pointed to in the last video. I wanted to tell you about before the cameraman so rudely dropped the camera and the video stopped. That was me. Sorry. Here they got these wrapped in lights too. This is a Camericiperus. No, sorry. Let me do that again. A Kryptomeria. You start talking plants and they all tangle up in your head eventually. Kryptomeria Japonica. Big tall tree. This specimen, Kryptomeria Japonica, that comes in various sizes and heights that it grows to. But what it can do is, if planted at the edge of a road, if you're near a road, it'll suck up fumes. It sort of disperses pollution, air pollution. So that's a great one to have at the edge of a road. Worked at a vineyard where a guy had the idea to plant several at the edge of the road, but low ones so they wouldn't impose on the view of the vineyard from the road, because there was also a winery where they wanted to attract people in. So planted a apparently dwarf pygmy variety that never got very big, so it was cute, but I don't know that it had the pollutive dissuasion factoring that he was seeking. So that was kind of a mini fail. Great idea, the execution not exactly on par, but in the fall they get brilliant fall color. It's like a purple that I've never seen. It's really unlike anything else. Kryptomeria Japonica. Really quite lovely. It's kind of a redwood look. You saw the needly leaves. They're not very pokey, but and they do sort of pile up. Now we got kids coming making noise. I wanted to go around that way, but I think I'll go see the pond first and go around the other way. Lovely square pond, spilling into a lower chamber, and the Atlanta Botanic Garden. Kiss me booth. And so apparently there's another cafe in here, but here is Shenomeles. Oh no, Shenomeles is quince, yeah, flowering quince Shenomeles. I was looking at this ground cover because that's a really nice evergreen ground cover that gets red berries. And I don't think it's the same as the Sarcococa that's on the other side. It's slightly different because it's taller. Here's the regular Sarcococa, like ground cover Sarcococa. Let's see if I can find a tag. I don't see one anywhere, but gets the leaves sort of, you have to rake them off maybe, or they'll fall in eventually. But it also gets the red berries. You can see red berries in here. Edibility, unknown. I would have to look that up. Not something I would regularly go to or forwards. They're not that common, really. But really great ground cover. Butcher's Broom. Is this right? This is a, no, undetermined. I can't remember the name of that one at the moment. Here's Helleborus is a good ground cover. There's Anemone is in here too. We talked about in the last video. They got different grasses in here, Caryopteris and Ophiopogon. You know, little cute little grasses, little clumping. They clump at first and then they spread out over time. Euonymus wandering ghost? No, wooling ghost? Euonymus. Oh, so this is the ground cover Euonymus. That's another good ground cover. It sort of vines around and it'll spread out and smother any weeds, and that's always a positive aspect of planting something that you want. versus having a lot of work pulling weeds. It's really silly work when you could, like, pulling weeds is just what you do while you're planting something so that you don't have to pull weeds later, is my philosophy, and unfortunately hasn't been taken up in the wider realms yet. Here's the Nandina. This one has yellow berries. I'm just going to walk in the Sarcococa here. Yellow berries. Usually they're red. These do not appear that they're going to turn red, so that's an interesting variety. Nandina, the heavenly bamboo. In the wind, it's got this very nice movement, as you can see there. All right, Sarcococa, stepping on the berries. There's some Helleborus and things back here, filling in the lower shadies. Oh, this is really quite a nice shade garden. Let's see if this is, it is Ruscus. Okay, so they're calling this Ruscus. Ow, it's very pokey, Ruscus. It's very pokey, but can obviously grow in full shade. And here's another Sarcococa with a narrower leaf. This is Sarcococa Hookeriana sweet box. No comments there. Comment in the comments if you like that. I'm trying to show it this way, up close and personal, with the Hookeriana sweet box. Okay, there you have it, and more Ruscus. You can see the form that it gets fairly taller and is a good real border, because it'll keep people from going in the border or through an area, because it's just darn pokey without looking like it's pokey. Like roses, you know, are pokey, but roses can't grow in this much shade very happily. They may survive and hang on, but they're not going to be full like the Ruscus. What else we got in here? Is that a Philodendron? No. What is this one? It looks like a house plant, but nice flowers, nice and full. We're getting close to Florida here in Georgia, so we're going to start seeing more house plants growing in the soil outside, like poinsettias that usually you think of as a holiday flower in a little pot, and they end up being tall bushes in areas like Florida where they don't die back too much. Here's an Osmanthus. Wow, it's a nice tall hedge. It can be hedged, it can be shaped and formed and kept into a more formal hedge. There's different sizes of it, but that's a very large one. There's more Solomon seal. Here's one you don't typically want to put in the soil. Whoa, don't drop it again, cameraman. Creeping Jenny. Macchia. This is the golden one. Actually, that's maybe more the green one. They do change color a little bit. You can see it's getting some purple colorations in here. We'll get down and dirty with it. Macchia. It's a very low ground cover, spreads like crazy, and is really hard to get rid of. But if you are certain that you want, it's a great container plant for that reason. It'll spread and hang down the edges of pots, but as soon as it hits the ground or the soil, it's gonna eventually take over. You can see it already coming in here, and it'll filter through, and they'll never get rid of it. But this is a contained area. Oh, I just saw a chipmunk run through. Since it is in between cement pathways, like basically if they ever wanted to change it, they'd have to exhume all the soil, and then it would just spread to somewhere else. The Macchia. Here's a neat tall flower. It's not a sunflower. Oh, there goes that chipmunk again. One's right over there. What else we got in here? Yeah, but those are neat tall flowers that are flowering here in November. Oh, which reminds me, I bet there's my favorite one, pineapple sage. It like takes forever to get going during the season, and then this time of year it just is super tall, and the buds seem like they take forever to flower, and then like in November it's just covered in red flowers that any pollinators that are left cruising around absolutely love. Great food for them in the late season. So pineapple sage is one to keep in mind for they get maybe 6 feet tall at this time of year. Beautiful red flowers, yeah, sage-like flowers. Just showing this central examination there. Here's an Ambutylon. These are very pretty flowers, come in various colors. Usually get taller. There's some more thin ones. They're thin and they don't typically tip over too much, so they're good for near walls, like narrow walls and pathways areas. Alright, I think that's good for this section. I'll see you in the next video.